What's up, everybody? It is August 10th. The Mariners are still in first place. We're tied with the Astros, but I mean, through our ups and downs, we're still tied for that first position. We're winning games, we're losing some, but the vibes are higher. And we have a lot of good offense going on, and things are still looking up, and we got a lot to talk about. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Garrett.
So we do have positives if we ignore the 3 games in a row, the last game of the series against the Phillies, and then the first 2 games in the Tigers series. But
yeah,
But other than that, it's been all right.
it has, I mean, it's been kind of an up and down week, but it was just down the first half of the week and now the second half of the week, which is when we're doing this podcast, and it's been much more positive. The Mariners have now shut out the Mets 2 games in a row. The Mets have gone 18 innings without scoring a run against the Seattle Mariners, and they've been one of the hottest teams in baseball for since July.
yeah, they have a better record than the Mariners do. So, but yeah, they've been really hot. We didn't think that when we saw the Mets on the schedule like a month ago, we didn't think it was going to be such a tough series, but they have been on a roll, and it makes it a tough series for the Mariners. Like you said, the Mariners have been winning some games. We're on a little 3-game win streak now, while Houston is on a 4-game or 2. So we're just staying with them and staying in first place, tied, a virtual tie, I think. They've played maybe 1 less game. But here we are, past the trade deadline, tied for first place in the division. And if we think about from the beginning of the season to now, it's been quite a road, but we're in a good spot if we think about just from then to now. This is where we want to be, we expect to be, despite Houston having a slow start and then surging back while the Mariners faltered. We still have the last third of the season here to look forward to, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be really good, and when rosters expand, the Mariners can really use that because we have a lot of versatility when we have 2 extra roster spots too. A lot of good things. Robles hasn't been as hot recently, but he's been playing a great center field.
Very good defense. I mean, Mariners defense as a whole has seemed to be up a notch recently. A lot of really good plays. And yeah, a lot of that is backed by Robles in center field, who's been locking it down in Julio's absence.
I want to commend Dylan Moore for doing a really good job while JP's out, and also has been playing some third base too while Rivas is up. Really good defense all around. I like what we're doing. Cal Raleigh has thrown out the most base runners in MLB this year, most caught stealing.
And he did it last year too, so he could potentially lead the league in throwing out base runners 2 years in a row, which
hasn't been done since Mike Piazza or something like that. There's only a couple recent times that's happened. So Cal's the man, still hitting for 214 average, but he's a timely hitter kind of guy. He's a clutch guy. He's a leader on the team. He's dangerous always.
Top 10 in home runs in the American League.
And
for a catcher, oh my God, this guy's so valuable.
And bunch of RBIs, 70 RBI or something.
He's killing it.
And this cannot be overstated enough. His toughness. It seems like he's taking 2 or 3 solid foul balls a game off his inner thigh, off the face mask, off his surgically repaired hand.
Yeah, dude.
The dude is constantly getting beat up, and especially when I'm listening on the radio and they're like, oh, he took a solid shot there and Cal's down, and you're like, oh, is it finally bad enough that he's going to get pulled from a game? And sure enough,
he straight up rubs some dirt in it and gets right back out there. It's back to kicking ass like it's nothing.
A straight up horse. You usually say a pitcher's a horse, but that dude is an absolute horse. He every day, day in, day out, he's a healthy boy. He's the most valuable player on our team, I want to say. A switch-hitting catcher that throws out league-leading runners and hits league-leading home runs for the position. How much more valuable can that be? And like I keep saying, sign that dude up.
Sign him up for an eternity.
Yeah.
It's a better version of Mike Zunino, who we loved for a long time. He's so lovable as well. Zunino was cool. We liked him, even though at the end of his time with us, he was just striking out all the time. But he had some good years with us, and he was lovable. And Cal Raleigh is just an elevated version of that. So sign that guy up. Randy Arozarena has been hitting the ball since he's been here.
I mean, consistently, like, and we even talked like, oh, can one bat change the course of the team? And we felt like it couldn't. And not to necessarily say that one bat can, but we've just seen it with the timely hitting. Literally one better bat in the lineup. And we've seen how our offense has increased so much since he's joined the team.
Putting 2 middle of the lineup bats in there like consistently has changed the face of our lineup. There's not as many rotating pieces in the middle of there. There's not as much Garver in the middle of the lineup, which, I mean, he's still in lineups for some dang reason. He's the worst hitter on our team.
Worst hitter in baseball.
He's serving as George Kirby's catcher and giving Cal a day off once every 5 starts for Kirby, and hopefully that's once every 6 or 7 days.
That's solid.
But he keeps
so
being
down
in
with
the
that.
He keeps being in the DH spot when it's like, dude, we just got
we
Canzone back, or Luke Raley's on the bench, like just because of lefties pitching. It's pissing me off. But anyway, Arozarena and Turner have made a huge difference.
Yes.
When Julio returns, hopefully really, really soon. I mean, I know it could take some time because high ankles are finicky. I've had a couple of those, and it does take time.
And I compare, because you hear a lot of high ankle sprains more so in football. And, I mean, we've seen high ankle sprains take someone out of a football for, 4, 6, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And, I want Julio back soon, but just realistically with the type of injury it is, and he's already gone past his 10 days on the 10-day IL stint. So we want him back. It would be nice to have him in the lineup, but I'm not holding my breath that it's sooner rather than later. I wish it was, but just realistically with this type of injury, I don't think he's coming back that soon, unfortunately.
In the meantime, does our lineup look good enough?
Good enough for what?
Good enough to compete and win baseball games against tough teams,
I suppose.
Yes,
Slightly.
Except for Garver continuing to get regular at-bats. And we have to bring this up in the Tuesday game against the Tigers. There's not a whole lot to talk about this game. Mariners did poorly throughout. However, Luke Raley had a home run in that game. And he comes up to bat in the 9th with the momentum currently in the Mariners' favor. The Mariners were down by 3 going into the 9th, and their center fielder misplayed a ball, and it dropped right next to him, which allowed a run to score, and we have a runner in scoring position. So
we've seen teams fall apart. That one little momentum shift we could have scored so many runs.
And we have Luke Raley coming up to the plate, who has a home run earlier in the game. He could tie it with one swing of the bat. And Scott pulls him for Mitch Garver because of the handed matchup. Like, how many times can we keep saying this shit? What are you doing, Scott? What are you doing? And what does Mitch Garver do with his opportunity? Strikes out on 3 pitches.
Dude, yeah, we thought Mitch Garver was going to be something he's not when he came over to this team because of his numbers in Texas, but he hadn't had a hit at our stadium in his whole career until he came here, and he was in our division. And then this year, like, absolutely shits the bed. He comes over here and he hit that one home run where he's like, thank God I can do it. But then immediately can't do it. He strikes out so much. He can't see the ball well in our park. He's not hitting well on the road because he has no momentum. They keep trying to put him in the lineup to get it started, but the Mariners could have easily signed another player and DFA'd someone like Mitch Garver. I'm okay now that Polanco has showed us that he can at least have a streak and carry our team when we need it. Mitch Haniger has had some nice moments, and he's been good recently, honestly. In the last 15 games, he was batting like .234 at least and had some clutch hits. It's all about timely hitting with our team right now because we don't score a lot often, and we're not clicking on all cylinders every day. So it's always like one or two players that puts us over the edge. And on Tuesday, Luke Raley was the guy that kept us even in that game at all with his homer early in the game, has momentum just because it's a left-handed pitcher. They pinch hit Mitch Garver, who I just explained. Like, there's no reason to put him in there. I know in his career he's hit lefties well, but this year, for months and months and months, we keep trying this, and it's not working. That's not the way to do this. Play the player who's feeling good and seeing the pitch well.
And it's just like, baseball is not played on paper. It's not, oh, well, the stats say this. It's played with real people making real plays. And
the Mariners aren't willing to take a risk, and because if they take a risk and it fails, it's too easy for everyone else to look at paper and say, why'd you do this? Look at these numbers. Like, they don't want to get it thrown back in their face, and they won't take that risk. And Scott's become so risk averse that we're not playing baseball the right way. Like, the momentum, the pitching decisions when we're down 1 run late in the game, terrible. You have to pitch higher leverage arms when you're down 1 run late in the game at home. You have to, and he didn't. I mean, recently.
Yeah, and so that was the Tuesday game. He makes the baffling decision to pinch hit Luke Raley. Then the Wednesday game against the Tigers, same thing. Cal has a chance. I mean, and this, there's nothing you can do but tip your hat on a play like this. Cal, in the bottom of the 8th, the Mariners are down by 1 with a runner on, and Cal hits a beautiful shot to center field, and Parker Meadows, their center fielder, Austin Meadows' brother.
I was wondering. I was like, oh, Austin Meadows is on their team? And they're like, Parker Meadows. It's like, what the fuck? Who's this guy?
Parker Meadows is 6'5".
Oh, man.
And fully extended. I mean, there's probably 3 players in the league just with that height and that leaping ability that could have made that play.
Beautiful catch.
It was gorgeous. And, like, it took a home, which would have been a game-leading home run away from Cal. And, I mean, what can you do? It was a beautiful...
Can't do nothing.
No, it was full extension from a guy that's 6'5".
You could cry a little bit, which is what I did. It's like, no.
You can go, bummer.
But you could do nothing but tip your hat on a play like that. No one's fault. But
it's the baseball equivalent of being punched in the nuts. It's like, oh, dude, it's that feeling when that happens, for sure.
And it was brutal, but the Mariners are down 1 going into the 9th inning, and they just showed that they are hitting the ball semi-hard. So, what do? Do we put Munoz in there? Do we put Spire in there? Maybe.
Jimmy Garcia was even warming up earlier in the game and hadn't come into the game yet. Seems like a nice place to put a guy that's stayed warm for a couple innings and for the right spot. And we hadn't taken the lead or tied the game, so they were like saving Jimmy and Munoz for that tie or lead spot. But why is that margin so small? Like, why are we not extending that margin with a chance to win at home? It's so dumb. Like,
1-run game. The game's not over. You have a chance to fight back. Instead, we put in some guy we just picked up off of waivers. No
5+ ERA.
5+ ERA. Literally some guy.
Yeah.
Some guy. And that, to me, that's Scott giving up on the game. You have options there. It's a 1-run game. Like,
they're trying to trust some slapdick guy that we just picked up off waivers in this situation. I know it's the Tigers, but it doesn't mean they can't hit the fucking ball. Like, also, he walked the first 2 batters, I think. So, and then just shit the bed immediately, and then gave
him like a 4 spot.
Yeah.
It just was giving up runs.
3 runs, I think, in the 9th inning there when we needed to hold them to 0 and have a chance to score 1 to tie it. Like, put Jimmy Garcia in there, you dumbass. What the fuck? That was the dumbest decision ever. So I was so pissed, man.
Back-to-back games of Scott just continuing to make the most baffling decisions of all time. And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
we trying to win ball games here?
I
No?
feel like
We're not?
he's not.
Okay,
Like
we're
I've
not
been
doing
saying,
that.
dude, it's lame duck manager bullshit. He's doing what the front office wants him to do on paper, and he's not using his heart. He's not in it emotionally like he has been in the past. A couple years ago, we wanted him to be the manager of the year because his heart was in it. He was making smart decisions. We were winning games by 1. He was willing to take more of a risk and not play scratch like baseball like that. But he's just more and more been the front office analytics bitch, and like it sucks. It sucks to watch. It feels bad when we need momentum. He's not giving the team the shot of momentum we need, like pitching a high leverage pitcher in a spot where we're behind, showing faith in the team to score runs. Like, hey, we got this. I'm going to pitch the high leverage guy in this spot. We're not ahead or tied, but I trust that we're going to be ahead. We're going to hold them for sure so you guys can do this.
You think he calls the
dumb,
bullpen
man.
and is like, hey, why don't you go and put Hernandez? And they're like, we got Jimmy warmed up. He's like, no.
No.
Do you think anyone on the other line is like, really? That's what we're doing
I
right
hope
now?
so, but no.
I have to
No,
wonder.
yeah, probably not.
And like I have to wonder, like Luke Raley. Also not to mention that the fact that he hit a home run. Luke on Tuesday had hit a home run, and then in the Wednesday game is on the bench again for Mitch Garver. So because of the handed matchup, and it's just like, I mean, you have to believe that Luke Raley is like, what the hell, like what do I have to do? And and it's not like Luke Raley is a superstar. He's not, but he is good and he has had his moments, and he's got to be like, what do I have to do to routinely get playing time? But Mitch Garver starts all the time, even though he is the worst qualified hitter in baseball. It's not even a hyperbole or a meme. He is the worst hitter in baseball.
He's hitting like 168 or something now, and in the last 30 days it's the same. It's like 130 something. In the last 15 days it's like 117. The last 7 days like 138. I just looked up his numbers. I was like, why is he hitting? What other team would hit this guy unless there's an injury? You know what I mean? Like, there might be a pitcher that he's hit well before and you can match up on the road because he can't hit at our stadium, obviously, but there are situations to use him, but not these. We have better players.
Is so wild to me because we DFA'd Zavala and he was hitting like 150 maybe, something around there. Dude, Garver's right there, and they're both backup catchers, and it's like, I guess they're looking at it like, oh, we only need one.
Well,
Let's pick the one that has .014 better batting average or something.
You know why?
The batting average is what we should base everything off
the
of.
number they're
So
looking
everyone
at
chill
is
out with that.
The $12 million.
the dollar sign.
Yeah.
That's the number they're looking at, and the reason that he's not DFA'd.
$12 million a year.
Yeah, they will not eat a contract.
We have him next year.
Yep,
They're gonna have
2 year,
to
$24 million for Garver.
make a decision, dude. He can't be on this roster next year. And also, Scott cannot be the manager of this team next year.
I want Scott gone.
We've been saying it this whole year. I've been saying it at least. Like, I don't think Scott should be the manager of this team next year.
I don't even
This
care.
isn't even a thing where it's like, oh, don't be so quick to call for somebody. Quick!
We've
No!
We've
been
given
9
him
years.
so much leash, and it's
Tons.
Yeah.
And I fully mean this with all my heart. Let's say the Mariners miraculously win the World Series this year. I still want Scott gone. I want him gone.
Me too. We need a change of energy, a different direction. And, adding the players we did at the deadline was pretty nice. I think we could have gone above and beyond and signed another bigger bat too. But they just give us just enough, man. They keep dangling that carrot, give us just enough hope. Go for that third wild card spot, make it really dramatic, compete for the division, but not like blow anyone out of the water. It's just enough, man. They just give us just enough to have hope and care about this team. I don't think Scott's heart's in it as much as it has been in the past, and we see that, we feel it, and it's on the players to have the right kind of energy, and that's why guys like Arozarena and Robles, those guys with energy, they're showmen. They're out there being cool on purpose to set a tone and make everyone see it, like set a tone, and they have.
And also Justin Turner, you can just feel the veteran presence from him when he's playing, and he's already made his name known for the Mariners, and you see him take veteran at bats. And again, he's obviously late in his career. He's 39 years old, but that veteran leadership is there. You can see it in the at bats he takes. You can see it on the swing he puts on balls with 2 strikes. Just this veteran guy, and I really like where the players are at, like with their energy, with their camaraderie. Like, I like where the players are at, and I truly feel like Scott is the one major thing holding this team back.
When Scott walks into the clubhouse room where they're all chilling, what do you think it feels like, bro? Do you think it's just like, okay.
All right. Hey, man, what's
up? Yeah. All right.
It's like when
see you out there.
It's like when you're hanging out with, the homies during a work break, and the boss comes in, and you're just like, man, we were having fun.
Yeah, now we can't chill anymore. Now it's fucking tense. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, we can go all the way back to last Sunday where the Mariners lost 6-0, right?
Sure,
because I just want to mention how during
this guy, Pat and I were having fun.
Yeah, we were having good times. All right, here comes Scott.
I know. Hey guys, you want to talk about Sunday?
Throw a cup of cold water on this. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No. What do you got to say about Sunday, though?
We had 3 hits against Zach Wheeler. So we couldn't do much about that. So we took the series from the Phillies, which is great, but then dropped the series to the Tigers, which sucked. And one of those games for sure is because of bad decision making. We had a great opportunity to win in 2 of those games, honestly, that we lost. But the other reason is Tarek Skubal came into town, and at our ballpark, what are you going to do against Tarek Skubal with a lineup like the Mariners have had recently? And I don't feel too bad losing those 2 games, but I do feel bad losing that other game because of
against
terrible decision making. Yeah,
and the I think it was game 1 because Screwball pitched game 2.
So Tuesday we lost 4-2. The Tigers pitched a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was his name? Fuck. I'm trying to get it up here, but it's so slow.
Some guy.
Montero, was that must have been
yeah.
Montero.
Yep.
Call me by your name.
Yeah, I've never heard of that dude, but he's 2-5 with a 5.62 ERA, and the Mariners did nothing. They scored 1 run in the 5th inning. Luis Castillo gave up 1 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th, it looks like, and lost that game. The Mariners bullpen gave up 1 in the 8th. We ended up scoring 1 in the 9th, but we couldn't finish the job. We only had 5 hits that day as well, and an error, which doesn't help. The Tigers had 10 hits. I mean, they hit the ball. Castillo got hit around a little bit.
Yeah.
The Mariners didn't get it rolling, and I guess that guy pitched a good game. I don't know. I don't remember hearing much about it, but I remember listening to the end of that game and being upset.
Did you guys see the play, though, with Screwball? It was a line drive up the middle, and he reached to catch it with his bare hand. Did you guys see that?
No.
I don't think so.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Especially because he is a great pitcher. He's a great pitcher for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Very nice career. And it was a hard liner, and he reached out with his bare hand. And the only reason it didn't hit it is because the ball was lifted just enough that it went over his outreached hand. And baby, what is you doing?
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Never. I mean, you shouldn't, as a pitcher, you should never use your bare hand, especially not on a hard line drive up the middle.
That's like putting your hands on the front of the bat when you're
trying to bunt.
Just don't do that.
Don't do that. Be safe.
Break your fingers, man. And yeah, pitchers especially. It's just a reactionary thing.
It's a reaction
and
thing.
They're taught not to do it, so you see them kind of pull back. But sometimes it's too late.
He was ready.
Full extension. Yeah, well, he's really good, man. He's 13-4 with a 2.57 ERA. We had 5 hits that day. 2 runs.
That's dope.
And that's the day that Meadows came up clutch and robbed that homer. I'm looking at the picture right now. Oh my God.
Yep.
Full extension.
Look at the picture on that catch.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Insane.
So Cal did everything he could. The Mariners couldn't pull through on a tough day to score runs, and we lost the series to the Tigers.
But just like we were allergic to sweeps with sweeping the Phillies, Mariners were allergic to sweeps with getting swept by the Tigers because Mitch Haniger comes up in the bottom of the ninth, down by 2, with the bases loaded, and hits one to right field for a walk-off 3-run double. I mean,
so clutch.
It was so amazing. And Mitch Haniger is now the all-time franchise leader in walk-offs for the Seattle Mariners. He has 8, including 3 this year. He's not doing a lot this year, but I'm going to say if the game is on the line, I don't think there's anyone else I want up to the plate.
You said that early in the season,
he
too.
He has that clutch factor.
The thing about Mitch Haniger is that he is strictly clutch.
I didn't believe you earlier in the season.
He doesn't do a lot when it doesn't. Well, I mean, it always matters. But in these big moments, he's going to be there for you. And, I mean, I guess, cool. But, man, I'm so hesitant to give him all his praises on a very fluky walk-off.
It was a bit of a fluke, but still, he
right
caused
fielder.
the fluke to happen.
True. He worked a count, and he slapped the ball out there on a line with really hard down spin, like down towards the line, and the right fielder misread the spin on that line drive. Which is why his glove was turned the wrong direction to catch the ball. He turned his glove over backhand, but needed to keep it forehand to scoop the thing.
I had flashbacks to Malik Smith in the outfield.
Yeah,
it was not good.
But
classic.
What's crazy? So there's a few things about that play. One, Haniger came through when it mattered most, and let's keep in mind that the Mariners had runners on first and third with no one out, and we had 2 strikeouts in a row.
Yeah, it was Luke.
Who works a super clutch walk?
It was Mitch Garver.
No, it was Jorge Polanco.
Oh, it was Polanco.
Polanco.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I missaid that earlier.
Same. Yeah.
So it was Luke Raley with a single. They changed pitchers to Will Vest, former Mariner Will Vest.
Double agent.
Mariners legend Will Vest.
Randy Arozarena. Singles on a line drive to right fielder Ryan Velati, who is the guy who fucks up later.
Yep.
But then Cal Raleigh strikes out swinging. Justin Turner looks ugly swinging at a breaking ball, but he was trying to just foul that off and swung straight through it. Then Polanco, clutch ass walk.
Good at bat.
Huge to load the bases. Then Mitch Haniger comes up, works the count, man.
I want to talk about how much speed we had on the bases at that moment. Polanco works this walk. We put Bliss on first base. Come on, let's go. Bliss as anchor. Love that. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. We had Luke Raley at third. Easy.
Thunder Horse.
Dude, straight up.
Yep.
Arozarena at second.
Scores easy on anything to the outfield.
Man, watching the
Bliss
replay.
On first.
Bliss on first. I mean, that's good luck.
Yeah,
that dude is lightning fast.
He slowed up around second for and saw the ball, right?
Yeah.
Watching the replay, it was so nice, dude. Bliss is rounding second base. He sees that right fielder misplays it, and then, dude, jets. Absolutely turns it on and just whoom.
Yeah.
He's at home, and before you can even blink, it's like, all right.
That acceleration was unreal. Yeah, he looked back and saw the ball got by and just was gone,
as
man.
Soon as Bliss crosses the plate, too, Luke Raley is on the pitcher's mound. He got out there so fast, and he's like, let's go right now.
Also, I've noticed a theme this year when I've seen the replays of the walk-offs and stuff. Luke Raley is the first guy to be celebrating with whoever just hit it. He's the first guy out on the field, running and celebrating with these guys, which shows that he's bought in to the team.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He's happy to be here. He's a team guy, and he's so excited to celebrate with everyone. And it's not no one else is celebrating. They're all in on it, but Rayleigh is the first one to grab whoever just hit the walk-off and just celebrate with them.
Well, when you look at the picture of the walk-off, he's the first one out there, like, hugging and picking up Mitch Haniger, basically tackling the guy.
I don't even think the play was over yet. I think the ball's still getting thrown in, and I mean, but
he was out there quick.
He was out there very quick.
The first one,
and
he's just got a really good attitude in all the promos they do. You know, the little like commercial break, like spaghetti or pizza, and he's just like, you know, I like pizza. It's like, oh, Luke, you lovable bastard.
He's very lovable.
He is.
And passionate.
Yes, and it just shows the vibes with this team, and I feel like we're really bought in, and it kind of makes me want to circle back that I feel like the one kind of blip on this team is our manager. Like,
I want to talk about it. I wanted to talk about this for a couple weeks now, but it's not a great topic. Do you think Ty France not a good clubhouse guy? I mean, he's gone now. Now I feel okay talking about it. But
I remember describing Ty France as kind of a like a lab, like a retriever, or like a lab, you know, like as if he was a dog breed, right? It's kind of like he doesn't. I don't know. It's just he's so normal and like meh. There's no extra excitement or like spark that he. I don't know if he is maybe not such a great team player, is more self-focused or motivated and not.
So it's not that he's like a cancer in the clubhouse.
I don't think so at all.
I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's more like a catalyst.
It was I think probably about a year ago now, maybe a little more. Adam Ray interviewed him, and it was a very just chill interview. And Adam Ray, big Seattle guy, always reps the fucking Mariners wherever he goes. Big fan. What's up, Adam? But he's interviewing Ty France, and he's just like, man, you're just so good. And like, what was it like, you know, hitting with Tony Gwynn and stuff like that? Tony Gwynn, right?
Yeah.
From San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a San Diego guy.
I want to get that name wrong.
No, you got it. You got it.
And he's just like, yeah, man, like really cool. It's like, come on. Can you bring it a little bit, please? He was never a big energy guy, I don't think.
Tell a story. Like, have some romance, you know? He's just kind of more straightforward, and I never saw that catalyst, emotional spark type thing from Ty France unless something good happened and he'd like smile or, you know, like celebrate. But other than that, like, I don't know, lackluster emotional player at least.
I'm actually,
but I like him, but it's just I don't think he adds a lot to a team's chemistry.
I'm actually gonna disagree with you guys on this one a little bit. I had never heard anything negative said about Ty France, and I know like him and JP were really close in the locker room. And what's funny, the Mariner that I actually heard the most like negative locker room stuff about was Mitch Haniger. Especially like when we had Jesse Winker on the team. I know they got into it a lot. Mitch Haniger really didn't like, and I guess this is even seen from a positive side, but Mitch Haniger thought that Jesse Winker had terrible work ethic and like brought negative energy to the team. But if you're fighting negative energy with negative energy, now you've got two guys emitting negative energy into the clubhouse and stuff. And I listened to an interview with Mitch himself this year when he rejoined the Mariners, and he's like, yeah, you know, I've heard the criticism from my teammates that I'm like kind of robotic and I don't celebrate as much with the team. So I think kind of that Ty France criticism is actually more on Mitch. But Mitch gets a bit more of a pass because he's more of a veteran guy and stuff, and I kind of get it. And Mitch said himself, his own words, that he was looking to be more of a team player guy and stuff. So I don't think, you know, with Ty, there had to be something there, right? Like there was something behind the scenes that we haven't heard about.
I mean, I'll push this back onto you a little bit. You even had a couple weeks where you were like, I think Cal and Ty don't get along.
That was a while back.
That was a while back. But you were like, Cal and Ty look like they aren't buds, you know?
You know what? That's actually an excellent point. And yeah, that actually makes me rethink a little bit because there was
Steel Trap. I will call you on
I was
that.
remembering that too, man.
I think that was like 2 years ago.
There was a pop-up between first and home, and they like miscommunicated. And I remember you being like, I don't know if it's just me, but I saw this thing.
Their body language looked terrible.
Yeah,
and so Yeah, maybe there was some behind the stuff scenes going on.
Maybe
behind the stuff scenes.
behind the stuff scenes.
Behind the scenes stuff, maybe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Stuff.
We really,
Behind the stuff.
it's hard to know that, right? But we can only speculate about it.
Yeah, we don't know these people.
And we never heard anything bad about Ty France behind the scenes, like you're saying. I don't think there was any like real serious issues, but I think Ty France is pretty low key and didn't cause those issues that much.
I did see just a couple days ago, Ty France. I don't know if you guys saw this on Instagram. It was like it's been a week or two since Ty France got released from the Mariners.
He's on the Reds now.
He is on
He's
the
a
Reds.
Seattle Redner.
Sure is.
Another long list of those.
But it took him about a week or two since being released. But he did release a full thing on his Instagram.
I remember that,
to the Mariners fans, and it was very heartfelt. And he was also honest. He was like, it took me a while to post this because I didn't know like where my emotions were at. But I want to thank the fans, the team. It was very sweet. It was very nice. And,
Oh, yeah. He said something about, like, looking at all those fans in their berets, like, chomping baguettes in the outfield. It's like,
yeah.
Well,
He's been a lovable character for a few years, He's been here for quite a while now, and I liked Ty France from the minute we got him, and then over time, the decline in play on the field, all of a sudden, he wasn't my boy Ty anymore.
Yeah.
So he just couldn't hack it at some point, and that's where we got it.
And also, I'm gonna eat my words on this one, but I was like, I'm going to miss Ty France's defense. Turns out it really doesn't matter that much. You can plug anyone at first base and they can play it. Justin Turner has been playing first base, and I've noticed no difference. In
Pick artist Justin Turner.
Yeah, so I was
pick artist.
but
I mean, I just watched Moneyball again recently. It holds up. It's so good. It's probably the best movie of all time. But I was watching Moneyball, and there's the part where they go to Chris Pratt, and they're like, "We want you to play first base. It's easy. Tell him." And he's like, "It's really hard."
but the thing is,
Scott Hatterberg.
I mean, if you listen, especially like Bucky Jacobson on 93.3, which used to be Cube forever, and now it's a sports station, which is funny, an FM sports station, which
Didn't
is
know that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cube 93. Where am I going to listen to Jason Derulo?
Nope, Bucky Jacobson in the morning.
Bucky Jacobson.
All right.
Shout out Bucky.
Trade in Jay-Z for Bucky.
Okay.
It worked.
I used to watch Bucky play in Tacoma, man.
Oh,
he's a big dude.
He's huge and like just an all-around like Montana corn-fed boy.
Beefcake.
Yeah, but like I remember even listening to Bucky Jacobson, who has played professional baseball, and being like, first base is not hard. Literally at the major league level, anyone that has reached that level and fielded and stuff their whole career, you can plug anyone at first base. And I remember being like, I think he's wrong. And obviously he probably has more insight than I do.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I mean, Justin Turner is 39 years old. He's now been playing first base regularly, and you couldn't tell the difference.
He's been a corner infielder forever. I mean, he's been a third baseman for a long time. He's been mostly DHing this year, but he still has the hands. That's not going anywhere. All that experience, he can easily play first base. He's done it a ton, and he's really good over there.
When your third baseman is absolute laser beams, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Talk about Dylan Moore these last couple of days, too. He's been nails at third base as well.
Yeah, and that's another testament to our defense, like, being better recently. Like, I mean, we've had good defense throughout the year. We've had some rough patches here or there, but on the whole, our defense has been good,
really good.
And this past week I felt like defense has really been up.
This last couple days, man, shutout against the Mets, Friday and Saturday. Really, really good. The Mets had 7 hits, 0 runs on Friday.
That's what's funny. On Friday, the Mariners won 6-0, shut out the Mets in the first game of the series. Mm-hmm. And the Mets actually out-hit the Mariners. Like you said, the Mets had 7 hits. The Mariners only had 6 hits. They used that 6 hits to score 6 runs. And
Quintana had a good start, too.
Yeah.
He got deep in the game until we hit 4 runs in the 7th inning. Like we gave up 2 runs in the second, and then he had a really good middle of the game there and got into the 7th inning before we finally slapped him around a little bit. And then they had to change pitchers, and we rallied.
And it was nice in that game to get the 2 runs early, get an early lead against the Mets. Ryan Bliss got his 2nd career home run.
It was a blast.
First home run at T-Mobile Park, and it was a no-doubter. Blasted it into the bullpen. I mean, I think it was like 410 feet. It was a shot. And
deep.
And it was nice for Bliss to get the 2nd career home run under his belt and homer in front of the hometown fans. And that, we already had that cushion, and then we rode the 2-0 out until the 7th. And and then timely hitting in the 7th. It wasn't home runs and stuff there. It was 2 out RBIs. Rivas with, I believe, a 2 RBI single, and Cal Raleigh with a 2 RBI single. So
very clutch.
Both with 2 outs too.
And Rivas had a really good game. Bliss and Rivas are 8 and 9 hitters coming through with some hits and some runs today. Rivas, singled on a ground ball in the 7th. Mitch Garver scores. Mitch Garver was on base somehow.
Whoa!
And Dylan Moore scored. So it was a 2-run single there for Leo. And then Cal, with another single, scores Randy and Leo. So very clutch by both of those guys to get it done.
Yeah.
Working counts, getting the pitch they need to get it through the infield. Seeing eye, or they're not trying to do too much with the pitch, and that's big. That's something that they've been doing a lot more. Is they don't look like they're swinging out of their ass up there, like all the pressure's on the line and they have to boost one or else the next guy won't get it done. It seems like they have faith in the next guy on deck, and they just do enough to string along the hits, like give it to the next guy and let them get it done too as a team. And it does feel way more team-oriented, our offense, since we got those few offensive players and the way Robles has impacted the team as well.
And it feels weird to say this after having back-to-back shutouts, but I also feel like since the trade deadline, on the whole, our pitching has not been as sharp as it was. It's still really, really good. It's still dominant pitching, but it hasn't been as sharp. And sure, the past 2 games, shutting out one of the hottest teams in baseball, it is sharp pitching.
It's funny because I was about to shout out Bryce Miller, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Amazing. He's one of the best home pitchers in the league, like the 3rd best, I think, home ERA.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying, that we haven't...
Like, on the whole, it hasn't been as sharp.
We watched Kirby get hit around a little bit. That sucks.
Sure.
And Castillo,
yeah.
Castillo's been weird this year because his win-loss record is worse than it should be.
It's like 9 and 11.
Never forget.
And
but it seems like he's always good to get knocked around for 2 or 3 runs early on, and especially in the first half of this season, that 3-run deficit might as well be a death sentence. Because
if he gives up more than 1 home run a game, it's usually a little bit out of hand for the Mariners offense to recover from. But he has been pretty good. I mean, he's still a top-of-the-line pitcher who is healthy and can go out there and maybe dominate one day, but it's more occasional than I thought would happen this year for Castillo.
And he's definitely not the ace of the team this year. Point blank, he's not the ace. He's not a garbage pitcher by any means.
Kirby and Gilbert
he's
have
the Rock Man.
No, I know, but he is
all aces.
But he can get knocked around a little bit and stuff, and he hasn't been as lights out this year. The home runs have been down than they were last year, but I felt like he pitched better last year despite giving up more home runs.
I don't know. It was so frustrating whenever he gave up a home run last year. Like, really? Right down the middle? Or way off the plate? Like, there was not a lot of control.
Yeah.
Well, I think because last year what he wanted to do was push the strikeout numbers, which is why he was having people 0-2 and giving up a home run, because he just wanted to punch it through. This year, the home runs are down a little bit, but the walks are up because he was trying to correct overly attacking the zone. And I mean, technically speaking, giving up a walk is better than giving up a home run. But he's still, the home run issues is still there a little bit. But
yeah, I'll look up Castillo's numbers and trends here too, because I'm curious. Early in the season, he was having a rough time, but then corrected and had a great time. And now it's kind of hit or miss. We don't know what kind of Castillo we're going to get that day. And he hasn't had those 10 strikeout days like he did last year. But yeah, he hasn't given up as many 2 home run days either. So, like, I don't know. I feel like he's doing just as well as he did last year, but it's just situationally it's different. Like, I think he's just as effective and his stuff is probably just as good. I'm going to look at the numbers for his movement over this next week and see, but yeah, I don't know what it is about him, but he should definitely just trust his stuff and throw his best pitch and shoot for the edges, and just try to hit the edges. And if he does walk people, it's okay because he will push those strikeout numbers. And I think that's when he's at his best, he's pitching for the strikeout in every situation.
Well, let's hope he's at his best tomorrow. This is exciting. The Mariners were originally supposed to have a normal 1 o'clock Sunday game. It has been pushed back to 4 p.m., and the Mariners are on Sunday Night Baseball. It is the first time the Seattle Mariners have been showcased on Sunday Night Baseball in 20 years.
Oh, my God.
20 years
Wow. Since
the last time the Mariners were deemed worthy to be on Sunday Night Baseball. And Luis Castillo is on the mound. I mean, you want to prove you're an ace, you're still a top pitcher. Tomorrow will be like a playoff game. You're going up against a playoff caliber team. You are the highlight of the baseball world. Everyone will be tuning in to this game tomorrow, Sunday Night Baseball.
Against a New York team, huge market team. There's tons of Mets fans. And
Severino's pitching for the Mets?
Severino's pitching versus Castillo. So It's going to be a really good matchup and a really good game. Thank you, Mariners, for going and getting Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner and making our team look better than it is with the names, because actually they did make our team way better too. But those names make our team look less of a joke to the rest of the nation. So I'm glad they're on our team when we do have this Sunday highlight game now. Finally, national stage again.
So there's actually something I really, really wanted to praise the Mariners ownership with. And I can't believe this, especially when we talked about the greediness of the ownership, not spending the funds towards players and instead spending it on new suites and a new diamond club and a new bar across the street.
Blowing it up with fireworks. Just burning money when we lose baseball games. It's awesome. I love to see it.
There is one thing ownership hasn't done for money, and I cannot thank them enough for it, and they deserve the praise. The Mariners do not have advertisements on their jerseys. The New York Yankees have advertisements on their jerseys.
Not yet.
The Houston Astros have a fucking OxyClean logo.
Dope.
On their jerseys.
I think the day is coming, though.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, and I'm thankful for that. And especially like the New York Yankees, if I was a Yankee fan, like if I love the Yankees, like I love the Mariners, I would throw up.
You want to go out and buy yourself a jersey and be like, I want to rep my team, and then you get a dumb patch.
Should just black it out to make a statement.
You know what's actually funny? For New York, if you buy a jersey, it's actually $15 more to get the authentic jersey with the advertisement patch on the side.
Oh my
God. So you can get a jersey for like $175, or you can buy the updated one for $190 with the advertisement patch, since that's the authentic one.
Puke.
And
that's awful,
sucks.
dude.
I really don't want it to happen. Please don't let it happen. I do not want to see advertisements on the jerseys. It's And how much money do you need? Even now, everyone's like, this is the Built Ford Tough Popsicle Maxi Tampon Preparation H scorecard brought to you by Chevrolet. And you're just like, how many advertisements are we going to shove in here? How much money do you need? You've got all the money in the world.
Ad revenue sharing is huge across the league. Like making more money just makes everyone more money, and even the players, I think, get to share an ad rev at some point at the end of the season. So I think across the league they like make pool and like share money that way too for certain types of advertisements. I don't know how it all works, but I've heard things like that where, I mean, even the players, I think, end up getting paid out because of wearing advertisements.
Well, I just want to say I'm so grateful that
they haven't sold all the way out.
They haven't sold all the way out, and the Mariners still don't have advertisements.
It'll be ugly when they do, but hopefully they pick like Starbucks or something. So
at least
like
it's
Seattle
green
specific.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Amazon though.
I know it's
gonna
be
be
big yellow nasty. But
yeah. So
well, you know what I'm frustrated about? Went to listen to the game on the radio today on 710 Seattle Sports because that's what it's called now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I turned it on. Some dork talking about football.
Oh.
I hate football. It's not football season. There's a game going on right now, and it's some guy talking about a game that happened at 4:00 today.
The game was on 770 KTTH.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I only know because I looked at the MLB app and it showed me. So when I got in my car, I was like, I know what channel to turn it to.
Well, I didn't, and I was very fucking
sucks,
mad about it.
And it hurts.
All right, old man.
It hurts.
It's not football season.
I understand. I was upset.
I'm gonna listen to my Mariners game. Damn it! I am an old man. I feel like I'm 75, freaking out over here.
The game's not on Root Sports. I have to sign up for Apple TV.
That's me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's fair.
That's
though.
a great impression. You nailed it.
Uncanny. But no, seriously, it is frustrating. And I remember 2 years ago when the Mariners were about to make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. And the Mariners games would get bumped for preseason football. Like, what are we doing here?
That was so annoying.
The Mariners are trying to end their, and 2 years ago, the Mariners are trying to end their playoff drought, and instead, I have to hear third stringers on the Seahawks. Like what are and I know, like, one, Seattle's a sports town, and the Seahawks had the championship, so they get more fanfare. Football is more popular than baseball. I get all of that. But we're really bumping playoff race baseball for preseason game against the Chargers.
It's obvious that Root Sports is in a bad spot and has been for a while. And the Mariners just bought full ownership of it, and who knows what it's going to be in a couple of years. But hopefully they develop a better service, like some kind of streaming service that we can actually use and like have. Instead of paying through Comcast, like actually have a subscription service through their own network, and like so we can watch football or baseball or soccer when like they're all on, and you just pick one and you pay monthly and you get to pick what you watch, and they're on at the same time because we're in the future. We don't need to bump playoff style baseball for
time of
preseason
year
football
when
anymore.
Baseball and football are on at the same time. Makes me want to die.
It's so dumb. I hate it.
I just cannot believe. And you know what? Maybe if the Mariners had won a World Series,
that's worse than when there's no baseball on.
When baseball gets bumped for
football comes back and baseball gets pushed to the back burner, it sucks every time.
Football sucks, dude. This sport's dumb.
Once September starts, it's like, oh, playoff race is heating up, but football started, so no one gives a shit about baseball anymore in September. Keep watching our show, please. Thank you for listening and watching. If you've been with us for a long time,
Maybe I should
Thank you
just
so
start
much.
ripping on the Seahawks more often.
We will.
Stupid.
And
the
we'll get people hate watching us. Be like, oh, these are the football nerds or the baseball nerds that hate on football.
We should do a off-season football podcast and just
I don't have. Football
and talk
knowledge.
shit about football.
Hey,
we don't actually have to do
the
it.
anti-football podcast. I don't even hate football like Garrett hates football. I like football.
Dumb. Football sucks.
You
guys can do your stupid thing. I'll edit it and post it.
We can loosely
I'm gonna sit
bullshit
over there
about
while you guys
football.
do the dumb fucking football show.
I don't hate football. Baseball is my one true love. I love baseball more than anything.
It's the best sport,
It's my favorite sport in the entire world. And it does suck when you get bumped and now you have to turn the dial and like nail it in through the static. You don't know how old school I listen to the radio, bro. I got that fucking analog where there's not even digits. You got to line it up in the grooves. You're like, well, there's a 700 over there, and
the numbers are faded. You can't even. Yeah,
you're getting.
I know what it's like.
That's
like,
some real tuning.
You're getting like half Mariners game, half like a Mexican weather station.
Yep.
That's how I listen to the radio when I'm at home. But and Seahawks started today. I'm just kidding.
Fuck the Seahawks. Nah, I'm just kidding. But hey, the Mariners did shut out the Mets 4-0 today. I was really happy about that. We gave Logan Gilbert 3 runs of support in the first inning.
Finally,
Yes.
my dude needs run support. What are we doing?
Thank the Lord.
The Mariners did only have 6 hits, but scored 4 runs.
That's
and
back-to-back
shut 'em
games
out.
with 6 hits and shutouts.
Logan Gilbert is the man. We love Logan. He's only 7-8. He's had 15 decisions.
I hate talking about pitchers' win-loss records. It's the dumbest number to ever
Just
exist.
seeing like he's only had 15 decisions with a sub-3 ERA, that win number should be huge. But like the Mariners don't hit when Logan's on the mound for some reason. But hey, today that turned around, and I like that a lot.
I mean, and
4
the
doubles in
win
the first?
the win-loss race, win-loss like stat. One, obviously, it on the whole it is pointless, and
Very much so.
There's so many variations. Like for example, you can have a pitcher throw 8 shutout innings. Your team is winning 1-0. He gets pulled in the 9th. A closer comes in, gives up a run, and then the team scores in the bottom of that inning. The closer gets the win, and the starting pitcher gets a no decision.
The pitcher of record when the go-ahead run is scored is the winning pitcher. It's so dumb.
Yes, win-loss is incredibly flawed. It really doesn't mean much. But on one side, it does. Kind of, like, let's be real.
Well,
you see Luis Castillo with a 9-11 record, and you see Skubal with a 13-4 record. What, just off the rip, like what pitcher does it look like is better?
The one with the higher number. Because you said a higher number, you go, oh, he must be very much better.
But I'm saying
13.
13-4 looks better than 9-11.
Yes, because bigger numbers mean better results. That's all it means. So fucking dumb.
Let's think about when this stat was invented. It was like the beginning of baseball when they're inventing stats for the game. It's one of the first things they did. And during that time, one pitcher would throw the whole freaking game, so it didn't matter about who got...
And the next game.
And if someone else came in and won the game late in the game, it's because that first pitcher was sucking, and so they do give the win to that guy who came in and held it and like won the game because that other dude couldn't. But it's when it was invented, they pitched the whole game. That's why it mattered then. And now it's so different that it doesn't matter as much, those numbers. But 20-win seasons would still be special.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen anymore. If someone does it, awesome. But it's just not the same as it was even in the 90s to have a 20-win season. So things are all different. The record is just something that's been around forever. It's fun to look at, but yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. I don't mind it, but I don't hate it.
I get mad when I hear it.
I don't care.
It's stupid.
It's classic. It's romantic. You know,
Whatever.
It is. It's
Whatever,
part of baseball for decades and decades.
Let me
saying
be
the
grumpy.
record. Oh yeah, I mean the game's changing, and eventually we're going to focus on different stuff. And right now, we are transitioning out of caring about wins and losses. And
football got me in a bad mood, man.
We're part of it, Garrett. Being grumpy about that is part of the transition, and I like that.
And the Seahawks won today 16-3 against the Chargers. Kick off their first preseason game. That's exciting. Not as exciting as the Mariners shutting out the Mets, though, 2 games in a row.
That's super cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. They're so good. But yeah, they're playing the Mets right now. What's behind you here? We got our Mets pennant.
Got the Tigers again.
Again.
We
better freaking sweep them this time.
Or at least take the damn series.
Please.
We can't be losing another series to the Tigers.
We're going to be in Detroit.
And then we got the Pirates.
Ooh.
I think the Pittsburgh Pirates have probably the most beautiful stadium in baseball.
Really?
Yeah, that backdrop, I believe it's PNC Park. Gorgeous. I mean, I love T-Mobile. I love Wrigley Field. But I don't know. And I've never been to a Pirates game in person, so I can't say like from firsthand experience. I have been to a handful of stadiums. But Wrigley Field is great, like from the historical aspect of it, and it's cool that it's like right smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, like that's really cool. But every picture I've ever seen of the Pirates Stadium is just like breathtaking. The skyline behind it is gorgeous.
PNC Park. Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, just over the outfield is the full cityscape.
Yes.
Isn't the river like right outside of their stadium? Couldn't they used to hit it like they still could probably into the Allegheny? Is that where they do that? Through like right center?
I don't know my rivers.
I don't know either. But the Allegheny River. I'm pretty sure that's where they can hit the ball into the river there. If it goes like out of the stadium. I think Josh Bell did it like 5 years ago. I don't know.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap up the Mets on Sunday Night Baseball. Let's sweep the Mets on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yes, please.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's redeem ourselves.
God, how Mariners is it to shut out the Mets twice in a row and then lose on Sunday
and
night?
Just get like slapped around, get 3 hits tomorrow
on national television,
national TV. Let's not.
We are allergic
not.
to sweeps. I mean, could we have lost the first game and then so we know we're gonna
take the series? We got to redeem ourselves against the Tigers and then the Pirates. So that should be fun.
Pirates are good. They have a really good offense, and they're playing at home, so we're going to have to hit the ball when we're there because they do damage, man. And also, hopefully, we don't see Paul Skeens. That dude's sick.
I kind of want to... I really like him. I kind of want to watch him pitch.
I want to watch him pitch, but not against the Mariners.
Fair.
He's on my fantasy team also, so it's...
Let's park one in the river in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, I think we've pretty much covered a lot of ground today. I think we got it all. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. Make sure you tune in to Sunday Night Baseball, and let's hope the Mariners get a sweep.
Please.
Thank you all for listening, and we will be back next week. And go Mariners!
Oh my God. Kyle Schwarber homers in the first. Top 8, Bryson Stott homers. Bryce Harper homers. Alec Bohm homers.
Oh, you're pronouncing like Patrick over there.
Alec hits a bomb. Bohm.
Bomer.
Alec Bomer.
They got to have fans with signs that say I have a Bomer, right?
If not, that is an easily missed opportunity.